I'm going to make a router table using this router here and all these plywood, which are scraps from previous builds, and this very thin melamine board. I don't really have a plan except for these scribbles here, and so let's see how it goes. The top of the router table will be made out of these two parts here, because I didn't have a piece large enough. And then I have the two legs here, like so, and then I will have a back, like so. Now the problem is how to get these parts attached. I think I have a solution. The router will be placed here. I already centered it in the exact spot, and of course it will be mounted on the bottom of the table here. And now I have to draw an offset from the router base, and then I can cut the top. I already marked the center of the router bit, and I will have to drill a hole here. But before that, because the router plate has these two little flanges here, I need to count for these on the bottom of this surface. Okay, it's not the best job, but the router now can sit flush, and yeah, it works. So this is the plastic base that goes onto the aluminum base of the router, and I can center it very accurately, and I can use it as a template for the whole locations. Here, 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 and here. I'm adding a few drops of CA glue into these countersinks because MDF is not very hard, and this should be the right way to make it harder, and so the screws will not sink into the MDF. And this hole is terrible, but I have no more pieces of this melamine, so it is what it is. Now I need to drill the hole here to accommodate for the router bit, and the size of the hole will be the distance between these two parts here, because any bit larger than this will not fit into the router, so the hole in the router tabletop will be exactly this distance here, which is 40 millimeters. This is the closest thing that I have to 40 millimeters. It's 38, but I think it should be fine. And it's a horrible hole saw that will probably kill me, but let's see how it goes. I will drill from both sides to avoid blowing through the melamine top. Take two. Well, not too bad. Now the router plate is almost flush with this surface, and I can put the top melamine board, and then I can add the 4 screws here. So I clamped the top in place and marked all the locations for the screws that will hold the melamine to the plywood backer, and now I just have to drill, countersink and add the screws. So this is now mostly functional because I can clamp the base to the workbench and use the router table, but I really need a fence, I think, because otherwise most operations would not be possible. So let's make a fence. So this is how I decided to make the fence. This is the backer piece, and then I will have the front parts like so, and then I have these little blocks on the back to keep it square, like so. And on the front I will have another layer of the white melamine material, because it is very smooth and slick. So now I have these two blocks here that will act as clamps for the fence, and I need to notch this section out. Because these are very small, I think I will do it by hand with a handsaw. I clamped all the parts of the fence together very accurately, and I also marked the locations for the holes that will hold the front part to the back part, and I'm going to use the drill press to drill these holes. Now I have to cut these two slots here, and I'm doing that on the drill press as well. And by giving it a gentle tap, like so, that's the spot. These blocks will be held in place with these carriage bolts, like so. So the fence is done, and it's very slightly off square, and I think that I can fix it by sanding a bit the bottom on the front side here. And now it is perfect all the way down, except maybe this corner here, but I think this part is a bit twisted, so there's no way to fix it. Oh wait, yeah, it's a bit twisted here, but this is square here and up to here, and then the last part is not square anymore, but I think it's okay. So the front plate will be held together with these screws, and here on the back a washer and a wing nut. maybe. And another one here. A few drops of CA glue here and here, and it will never move again. And then I can add the box like so, again with the washer and the wing nut. And the other one can go on as well, like so. And the fence is done. I can move these things here to create space here for the router bit, and then I can move the fence up and down and lock it in place. And it is also very, very solid, as you can see. It will not move at all. I also prepared these two pieces here that will be my dust port for my shop vac, and they will go on like this. Now, because this is mounted upside down, the springs are too strong, and I'm removing at least one of them. So I removed both of the springs, and now this slides very easily, and so I can then lock in position like so and use the router. Wow, it works very, very well, and the dust collection is awesome. And as you saw, I also installed this switch here, so I can easily turn it on and off. And I think I will use it very often because it is a very pleasure to use.